folks, thanks for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, we will be using a art stone from the Happy Dotting Company molds, and I painted it black for my base coat, and then I used my compass to draw my outer circle, and then I used my stencil that has different sizes of circles on it to offset my moon, or the second little circle that's in the middle there. I wanted it offset and I wasn't sure how I would do that with a compass trying to find the center. So by using the stencil, it just made my life a little bit easier. And well, it was just, I could pick whatever size I wanted and be happy with it first try. So that's one good thing that I like about having all of my stencils. I've got many stencils that I use for shapes. I have things like hearts and squares and diamonds and obviously circles. So I painted on very sloppy some Cobalt blue, and this is by Apple Barrel, which is the Michaels brand. No, sorry, it is not the Michaels brand. It's just Apple Barrel. And so what I did was I painted it on very, very messy. But to get rid of the brush strokes, what I did was I used my finger sponges that I got from the Amazon. There is a link in the description below. And I just sponged it all out so I had a nice even coat. And while I did that, I noticed that some of the black started to come through. And I was very happy for that because this is a night sky. So if you saw the thumbnail at the beginning, and it's what you clicked on, or if you saw the title, this is part of my full moon series. So this is the November full moon, which is also known as the Beaver moon. So I'm just doing the moon now, and as in all of my other full moon series, the way that I paint my moons is I paint it all white, and while the paint is wet, I add another color. So I don't know if you noticed, but as the moon moves through its cycle throughout the year, and as it gets into the colder months, it has more of a blue hue to it. And that's what I was trying to capture here. And you don't have to be perfect with it. You just mess around with it and be done with it. So now I'm adding on some stars in the sky, and you saw me use a toothbrush. So I do have dedicated toothbrushes for doing just this. You just load up the tip of it and then you run your nail over top of it, and you get all of these little white splatters everywhere. So the good thing with it is that you get it where you want it. The bad thing is you get it where you don't want it. So there are hazards with doing it this way. There is very little control as to where the white splatters end up. But it's okay because being acrylic paint, and I've said this 100 times, if not more, that the best thing about acrylic paint is all you have to do is let it dry and you paint over top of it. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So a lot of that white splatter got onto the outside of my frame. So I used my Glorious Gold, which is my favorite gold by DecoArt. I used that to outline the frame. And now I'm going in with just black paint, again by DecoArt, and I'm cleaning up all of those white splatters that are on the outside of that frame. So that's proof right there, folks, that acrylic paint is easy to clean up if you just let it dry and then you just paint right over top of it. And that's exactly what I did. So this is the Beaver Moon, and I wanted to show you some realistic painting and how easy it really is. And then I wanted to show how you can throw in a totally different type of art. So my beaver that I paint is a bit cartoonish, I guess you could say, or he's just he's not realistic. He's really cute, big eyes, and anyways. So I just wanted to show that you can actually put the two together, and it looks great. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding in the background, and I'm using my brush that's like the bristles go every which way but straight, and that's what I use to make the my leaves and my trees in the background. And now I'm just adding in some light details. So I'm using white here, and I'm just barely touching the rock. I'm just giving it a quick kiss with my paintbrush there, and the paint is slowly coming off of it. Then what I do is I come back in with some of that cobalt blue mixed in with the white. So there's a lot of white and just a tad bit of the blue to give it this light blue color, because I wanted it to be the reflection of the moon off of the branches and the needles of the pine trees in the background. So what I can tell you about realistic painting is, in the background, your detail does not need to be perfect. You can be pretty sloppy with it, and it still looks absolutely amazing when it's finished. And it's because it's in the background. It's just basically trick your eye into seeing what is actually there, even though it's not like identical to what nature does. So that's what I've done here, as just given the eye the illusion of that there's a forest in the background. And then I'm just painting in like a little river here that's sort of sneaking through the pine trees there, and is coming out and heading out to the right side of the rock. And again, I'm doing the same thing with the shading here. I'm using only white and the cobalt blue. I'm not adding an additional color. I'm using two colors, and just by mixing it together, I get all of these different hues, different shades, and it just really gives it that fine detail. Especially with the full moon, it makes it look like it's shining off of the water. And that's exactly what I wanted. And you just keep playing with it until you're happy with it. Now, after it's all dried, I go in with my General's charcoal pencil, and I sketch on my foreground, or the design that I really want the eye to focus on, or for what the whole painting is about. So I've got the foreground sort of sketched out here. I want this big tree on the one side that looks like a beaver's been chewing it. And then I'm going to add this cute little beaver outline on the right side of the tree. Now, what I do after this, and you'll see it in just a minute, but because I have a black background and I want the colors in the foreground to really show, I give this design or my sketch here a complete base coat of white, because that allows the colors to be the most bright, and it really helps to not allow the background to sort of seep through the colors. So by doing it all in white first gives you that opportunity to be able to make those colors really shine. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just filling everything in. And now I know I drew details in there with the eyes and the nose and the whiskers and his hand or front paw, whatever you call it, on a beaver. But I paint right over top of it. So for me, I do this because if I draw it first, then my mind's eye already knows where that stuff's supposed to be. So I don't have to do any guesswork, because I've already drawn it, so I already understand where it's supposed to be. Now that's just me. That's how I work. Maybe you work in a much different way than doing it that way. I don't know, but I know that this works for me, and that's why I do it that way. And I let that completely dry before I even start touching it, because I don't want that white to interfere with the other colors that I'm going to be putting on here. So, and this is going to be a birch tree that he's been chewing away on under this full moon, under the brightness and the light of the full moon. And this time of year, we see that moon a lot sooner than we would if we were in the middle of the summer, because our days are getting shorter and it's starting to get colder. We haven't seen any snow yet in northern Ontario, but it's coming. And I don't know if I'm ever ready for it. I seem to get ready for it when it arrives. And it's not procrastination, it's just I just don't feel the need, I guess, until it actually happens. And then it's like, oh, maybe I should have got the snowblower out, and maybe I should have tested it, and maybe I should have got my snow tires on earlier. But that's just how I roll. That's just me. Not a procrastinator, just don't do things until I absolutely necessarily have to. So other people are much more prepared. So, but it is coming, and I do have to get my head around that so that I can start getting prepared for it. And one other cool thing that it's just sort of dawned on me is that this is my second last rock for the Moon series. Like, I only have one more to do, and then this series is complete, which also means the year is almost over, which also means Christmas is coming. So there's a lot of really cool things that are going on, and I've been really busy with Christmas craft shows. I've been busy doing some custom orders. I've been really, really busy trying to get things loaded up into my Etsy shop so that things are there ready to go for Christmas shopping. So I have been very, very busy. Plus, I have a full-time day job. So throw all that in, and like, there's no chance for me to get into trouble. Not at all. I am so busy. But anyways, so just keep your eye out on for my Etsy shop. I have posted up some new stuff. I've got more coming. It's already sort of sitting in the draft stage. I just have to finish it up by getting weights and things like that, and dimensions, especially for my Mad River rocks, because not two of them are the same. So I am diligently working on that. So just know that that's coming, and I will let you know either through my Facebook or through YouTube to let you know that it is done and ready, and you can go and view I'm posting everything that I have. So I've been not wanting to do that because of I was worried about the cost, but I think that, to be fair to everyone, that I should have all of my stock available on Etsy, as well as through my craft shows and things like that. So I will be getting those done probably in the next couple of weeks. I mean, I've been working really hard on it, and I've got a lot that's in there already that's ready to be finished up. Like I said, still in the draft stage, but the final draft stage. So, okay, so I've been working away on this birch tree, and I painted it dark gray. Again, I'm not using a lot of different colors to get this gray. I used white and black, and then I put in all of these little black spots, because if you look at a birch tree, they have white bark, gray bark, and then all of these little black spots. And the black spots are where the bark is been injured or has started to peel away or has peeled away, and it's kind of like a scar left on the tree. And that's what the little black spots are. So we're just going in, and we're just, like we did in the background with the pine trees, we're just letting the paintbrush kiss where you want it to be. And I'm just putting on some white highlights along the side of it, and just let it happen. So that's exactly what I did. And you can make these birch trees as light or as dark as you want. It's totally up to you. It's your preference. Some other birch trees that I've done a lot whiter, but I thought because it was nighttime, I wanted to make it a little bit dark. So where the wood has been exposed, where the beaver's been chewing away, I painted that with some brown paint. I believe the color I used was Territorial Beige by Delta. And I just added a little white just to give it a little bit lighter shade to it. And then I'm just adding some lines with some darker brown and giving some shading and things like that. And now I'm going to put on the branches. And this is so fun. I love doing branches on trees because you just basically let the paintbrush go where it wants to. And you just make it into the branches. And whether you've got a heavy pressure or a light pressure, gives the different thicknesses of the branches themselves. And there's no mistake in making branches. Like, there's no mistake whatsoever. Mother Nature is not perfect, so why should your trees that you're painting, right? So that's the way I see it. And I just add some little branches here and there that may have broken off. And this tree is a standalone, it's all by itself. And you know what, guys? I'm really sorry. My voice is a little bit funny today. And I think it's because I've been stuffed up. I don't know if I'm getting a cold or if it's just because, I've turned the furnace on and there's extra dust floating around. I don't know, but I do apologize for my voice. It does get a little bit raspy sometimes. But it's still working, so at least I haven't lost it. So that's a good thing. Um, anyway, so as I'm going to finish off some final details here on these brushes, I just want to say thanks for joining me today. If you're new, thanks for joining. And if you've made it this far, then I really urge you to give me the thumbs up if you like it. Make sure you subscribe. And I would love it if you could leave me a comment to let me know what you think of this realism mixed with, we'll call it cartoonism. I don't know. But let me know what you think of it. I think that the beaver turned out so cute. And I'm just adding some final details. If you want to know the colors that I'm using, the paint colors and the brands, they're all listed as well in the description below. I don't always remember to tell you while I am painting, but I do remember to always put them into the description. So you have that as a reference. So make sure you check it down there. You can always go over to my Facebook page. That's on there as well, for a link to get into there. I post other things that I paint that I don't have on film. So if you want to go there for more like added inspiration, or if you're interested to see what else I do, I mean, I do a lot of canvas work and a lot of things like that. So if you're interested in that, head on over to Facebook as well and look up Northern Pieces, or just follow the link that's in the description below. So now I'm just outlining the details on this beaver, just like you would do with any other cute little creature that you're doing, just outlining in black. Now this black is watered down so that I can get a nice even flow with my paintbrush. And just adding his pupils, and I got to throw in his little nose there. And he's just so cute, right? Like, I just was very, very pleased with how it turned out. And it was my first time trying this, to put realistic background and realistic painting and then throwing in a cartoon character. So I think it turned out really, really well. And I'm very happy with it. So I hope everybody's doing well and getting ready for Christmas. I'm getting ready for Christmas myself with my 12 days of Christmas that will be coming. I've already started working on some things. I'm going to focus on ornaments. So it's going to be 12 different ornaments that I'm going to be doing. and just teaching you how to paint those. So if you're interested in that, join me for that. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.